How do you want us to see you?
As a human being, not perfect, yet vulnerable, open, honest, truthful, caring.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of King Crush Thursday, the series where we highlight and uplift Black men, because frankly, not too many people are doing it. My name is vowed, and I'm super excited to bring to you this brother today. Let's see. He is an award-winning leader. He's also an author, a husband, and a father. His name is Mr. AKEIFF Staples. Hey, AKEIFF, how are you?
Hello, Val. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us. I'm so glad that you're here. And as you know, we have built a repository of 6 questions, well over 100 answers by 100 different positive and successful Black men, with the ultimate goal of busting open this narrow narrative and myopic narrative about Black men. We know that Black men are as disparate and as myriad as the people walking the planet. But we know that there are also characteristics of positive and successful Black men that are more the norm than the anomaly. And so I'm so grateful that you're here, because ultimately these questions that you answer will go into the repository that my hope one day will be seen by a young king who may or may not have positive Black male role model in his life, that he can see this repository, see the same 6 questions answered by all these different Black men, and find guidance there. And for the rest of us who are neither male or even Black, for us to go and see these same questions and perhaps have our minds expanded, our ideas, our preconceived notions expanded to allow you to live in your full humanity. And so with that, I will get started with the first question, which is, what does manhood mean to you?
Okay. Uh, what does manhood mean to me? I'll say, Val, just sharing with you, didn't want to really look at the questions, look at what I was coming into. I wanted to take it on as it was, so it could be very authentic in my response. Manhood to me is something I had to learn. I had to experience just what a man was, what his position was in the world. I grew up in a single parent household the majority of my life. So for the men that were there, it was for a very short amount of time. My biological father, he was out of the household when I was 2 years old, full custody battle, and I was given rights to my mother. My mother was married prior to meeting my biological father. She was married, had gotten divorced. She reconciled with her first husband. So he came back into the home right when I was about 11, 12 years old. I would say he was my full-time dad. And he would visit every now and again. So I always called him dad. I never called him my stepfather. So he was one of my closest examples of what manhood was. You go out, you work, you make money, you give money to wife, and you do what you want to do, with your free time. But outside of that, him being a model, I also had TV. for the times that a man was not present. So I'm looking at Uncle Phil. I'm looking at Family Matters. I'm looking at Good Times, all of these different types of individuals, and the way they cater to their family was a model for me. So when I had a family of my own, what I saw manhood as was being a provider, and not just financially, but emotionally as well, that I'm connected, that I'm engaged with my wife and with our children. And we have 3 of them. So yes, if I could shorten it up, manhood to me is the is being a provider in more ways than one. Being a provider to your family and to your community. There you go.
That's great. That is really awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, AKEIFF. So AKEIFF, who and or what is important to you?
My family. My family is very important to me. Of course, my my mother, my siblings, but my family, the one that I had an opportunity to create, being out in this world, meeting my wife. I met my wife. We met and got married in 28 days. That was in 2009. We've been married for over 14 years now. We have 3 children, 3 beautiful children, 2 boys and a little girl, ages 25, 13, and 9. And they, along with my wife, mean the world to me.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's awesome. How beautiful. 28 days. Wow. I think there's a movie with that title, something like that.
It's not a good outcome what that 28 days was. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I never saw the movie, so I shouldn't have mentioned it. The title, it was just intriguing.
Oh, so, no, it's okay. 28 days later, that was the movie.
Got it. Awesome. So, AKEIFF, how do you want us to see you?
Now, when you say us, do you mean the viewers watching this or just us in the world? How do you view when you say us?
I would say it's how you interpret it. So you can think about us in the world or the subset of the world being the viewers.
Okay. Got you. As a human being, not perfect, yet vulnerable, open, honest, truthful, caring, and positive. Positive, yes. So all of those things.
That's awesome.
And probably some more in there, but I wanted to shorten it some.
Yeah, I hear you. That's awesome. That's excellent. Thank you. So AKEIFF, what is your epic dream?
My epic dream has a lot to do with the work I'm currently in. My nonprofit work, giving back to the community, being of service there, showing up as a father, and a father figure to others, and getting into that vow. I feel like it was my calling since I was a young kid, very young. I don't know why, but I always believed in world peace, peace. And I know that's probably another word I should have added in about myself, peaceful and patient. But peace, I like to keep the peace and working towards that, knowing the things that me as a young, adolescent into teen years, just being from the stories that I've seen, read, heard, told from my mother or parents or other individuals who have experienced some things, this world, as beautiful as it is, there are some ugly things that can go on. And a lot of it has to do outside of Mother Nature, which you cannot control, is our relationships with one another, our communication with one another. So my path up to the work that I'm currently doing and being of service to the community, I also had to learn a lot about myself and how I show up in the world to be this space of peace, to be this space of love, to be this space of caring. And you want to impact everything and everybody, but that's not possible. But at least if I stick to the goal of world peace and put that out there, then I know as long as I'm putting in the work, patiently applying myself, staying in it, that you never know. We look to put a dent in what has not been when it comes to world peace. So world peace, Val.
I hear you. I hear you, my brother. That's awesome. That's awesome. Excellent. Thank you so much. So you've been answering this question implicitly all along, but I'm going to ask you explicitly. Mr. AKEIFF Staples, who are you?
That's a good question, Val. Who am I? I'm AKEIFF. I'm AKEIFF Christopher Staples. I'm him. And what I mean by that is I have not ever lived my life trying to be someone else. Of course, I have models and I see individuals, but who am I as AKEIFF Staples? And I'm here. I'm put on this earth, through my spirituality and God, to live out that purpose. And yeah, I'm a vessel. So who am I? I am a vessel to relay a very loving message to the world. And his soul and body composition happens to come with the name AKEIFF. Yes.
Got it. God, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Thank you. So here we are, already at question 6, which is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't, or you wanted me to ask you that I didn't? In other words, what did I miss?
I don't believe you missed. You didn't miss anything, Val. If there's anything more that I can add, and which I will, is never to give up. Never to give up. I briefly shared that I grew up in a single parent household the majority of my life, full custody battle at 2, stepfather coming in to live. He passed away when I was 18. And he passed away tragically. This was my freshman year. If it was not for my father, my stepfather, he didn't say much to me, but he told me, he said, I was in sports. I was a football player. I received a scholarship from Temple University, but I wasn't going to take it because they weren't a winning football team at the time. I was going to go somewhere else. But my dad said that was the first time he spoke to me with any type of meaning. It wasn't a lot of emotion in it, but he told me to do something and I listened to him. My freshman year on winter break at Temple, he had taken his life and I was present when that occurred. And when you talk about manhood or men, even though he didn't have his arm around me, I don't even know if my father ever told me he loved me. Not that I can remember. And I never, ever, and still to this day, have not faulted my biological father or my stepfather for what I did not have in my life, because that only created the space for what I could become or what I wanted to be as a man and as a father. And I did not I was not going to play victim to my circumstances. I was not going to give in to that and, now put more burden on my mother. I'm her baby. I'm the youngest. I was also the biggest. She birthed me at 11 pounds. So she was always looking out for me. She knew I was not different, but, I carried myself. She always tells me I didn't have to worry about you, AKEIFF. You were not an issue for me. So, just thankful for what is and what is not. And to be able to learn from every experience, every moment that you have here, with your time on this earth, and just making the most of it. Like I said, I'm not perfect. We're all human beings. I don't even think monks are perfect. Buddhist monks, they might be the closest thing to it. But hey, they're moving out there. But yeah, just not being a victim of my circumstances, telling people not to give up, regardless of the situation. And it's great that you do this and you allow different individuals to share. I guess it's all men here, but that we're all unique, and that every story you're going to hear has, oh wow, I can connect with that, or wow, I connect with this individual and what he has been through in his life, and they may not even have experienced it yet. But yeah, just keep pushing through. Positive self-talk. Just myself, I do a good amount of work in personal and professional development. And that is something that, and recently just came back from New York for some transformational work that I've been in now for over 12 years. And, I would love, because I share this in there, but I'm able to do it now through my work. But what I would love is to see more Black men, especially, but us just as a culture, Black African Americans, taking on that type of work, and not like it's weird or there's some stigma behind, just getting your mind better, mental health, that's not what it's positioned as in its platform, but we do go through those mental health issues, and it'd just be great if we were in a vulnerable state to say, I may need some assistance here, or I just need to talk some things out. It's not that you have to go through any therapy or anything, but just take time for yourself, make sure you're working on yourself so that you could be the best version of yourself in this world. And yeah.
That is awesome. Excellent. Thank you so much, AKEIFF. This is so great. I am grateful for your presence in the world, and your overall stance in the world. It's really great to hear someone who can take things that, other people might have crumbled for them, right? We all are impacted by the positive and the negative things that happen in our lives in so many different ways. And so your resilience to be able to take something that is, very tragic and be able to turn it around, get the lessons out that you can extract and change your life is really honorable. And so I honor you, my king, and I pray that your epic dream comes true sooner rather than later. As we in this not only war fraught society, but just contentious society that we seem to be in right now. And I just really wanted to thank you for being here and for contributing to this repository.
Oh, well, thank you very much again, Val, for having me. I know it took some time to get to this point, but I always say as well as that timing is always perfect. I think that everything happens exactly how it's supposed to happen. So I'm glad that we're here. We had a chance to exchange. You allowed me to share with your audience, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And stay right there, because I do want to thank the audience for joining us today. I really hope that you enjoyed this conversation as much as I do. And I'll say, one of the brothers said to me recently, we really just want to be heard, right? Every human being just really wants to be heard. And so if there's a Black man in your life who you want to see highlighted and uplifted and heard through this forum, please click the link below or in my bio. Fill out the form. We will take it from there. We are well over 100 positive and successful Black men. Success does not equal what they do for a living, but as long as it's legal and it's not hurting anybody, right? We really want to make sure that those brothers get to contribute to this repository also, so that, again, we can break open these narrow, myopic narratives, and for some young kings to really find some guidance from a community of men that they may have never met, mentoring from afar, but who can have a positive impact on their lives. So in the meantime, please stay tuned next week for yet another amazing king. And please remember to spread love and have a great day. Thanks so much. And AKEIFF, thank you. That was really awesome. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Val. Have a great one.
You too.
Thank you.